Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. Welcome. If you just joined us, you're just in time. It's time for Business Express 981. It's a Monday today. And yes, Rotus is going to be leading us through conversations as always. Good morning, Rotus. How's it going?
Hey, good morning, Kayode. Good morning to all our listeners and YouTube viewers. Great to be with you all to kick off another week in this new year.
That's right. So don't forget, if you want to be a part of our conversation, please send your messages to 0809-444-0981. Also, we're on Twitter. We're at Smooth981FM on Twitter and on Instagram and also on Facebook. So reach out to us across all platforms. We're more than happy to respond to your messages. Rotus, what are we talking about this morning?
It's all about rice, man. Rice, and hopefully you can get to textiles if we get the chance. But tomorrow, President Buhari is going to unveil some really massive rice pyramids in Abuja. This, of course, it's a collaboration between the Rice Farmers Association of Nigeria and the Central Bank of Nigeria as well. So President Buhari is going to be present in Abuja tomorrow. Central Bank Governor Mefele is going to be there. The presidents of Benin Republic, I believe Chad, Cameroon, I think even Niger as well will be present. Also members of the Rice Farmers Association. So they're going to be flagging off the new wet season, I believe, for rice planting. Also going to be talking about the gains that have been made using the Anchor Borers program, which supported quite a number of rice farmers across the country in terms of getting financing over to them, and also in being able to produce, an increase in as far as production is concerned in terms of rice. As you know, we consume about anywhere from 6.5 to almost 7 million metric tons of rice per year. Mm-hmm. Production has been inching upwards about 4-5 million metric tons. We still have a gap that needs to be met. So this is part of what they're going to be flagging off tomorrow. But they've been noticeable gains that have been made via the Anchor Borers program. These pyramids are supposed to be, I think, the largest rice pyramids in the world that are supposed to be rebuilt tomorrow. So the thing, though, is that there's still an issue with smuggled rice coming in from Benin Republic, which is why I think it's interesting that in
a rice pyramid.
Well, it's interesting that the Benin Republic's president is going to be there because there's been a lot of smuggling of rice coming in from his country. Charts that I forwarded to the WhatsApp platform. It shows the ports of rice from Thailand to Nigeria, Benin, and Cameroon. So there have been noticeable gains with respect to, if you look at that chart, there's a blue bar, there is an orange bar and a gray bar, and those bars represent the three different countries. Thailand was exporting quite a bit of rice. Almost 1.2 million metric tons back in 2012, but that has really reduced down to about 216,000 metric tons now as of 2021. So that has been successful. They have reduce the amount of rice that Thailand is exporting. And Thailand, their rice producers association is wonderful. If you go to the Thailand website for rice producers, their website shows you export to which countries on an annual basis. It shows you the amount of types of different rice that they export and so on and so forth. So it's a data-rich website. So the thing is, while exports of rice to Nigeria from Thailand, they have reduced, you'll also notice that there's also been an increase in exports from Thailand to Benin Republic. And so around that 2015, when the Anchor Borers program started, when Nigeria restricted access to foreign exchange from the official windows for rice, around 2015, you started to see Nigeria's exports, or rather Nigeria's imports of rice from Thailand go down. But at the same time, the orange bar, Benin imports from Thailand's rice went up. And the World Bank estimated that 80% of rice going into Benin Republic is heading to Nigeria. As of November of last year, there were still association members of rice. I think they have a quote here from the who wrote a quote. There was somebody. I'm going to get that quote in a second. Someone was complaining to customs as recently as November last year, saying that there are still issues. Yeah, okay. Peter Dama, the chairman of the Rice Millers Association of Nigeria. So he was saying that there's still issues with smuggling of rice into Nigeria, and it's coming from Benin Republic. So that is still something that needs to be addressed with respect to, reducing the amount of smuggled rice that comes into the country. I know they closed the borders back in late 2019. Did it really do anything? They only increased prices of goods and services because by closing the land borders, they restricted a lot of items that came in. We're not sure if, year on year, whether that really, as far as measurable impacts, that's, reduced what's coming in from Benin, because as of November, you still have the Rice Millers Association president complaining about that. So, that's when you talk about the conversation around rice, there's closing that demand gap, production versus demand gap, and then reducing smuggling.
Yeah. So, hey, if you're out there and you want to, chime in and add your 2 cents to our conversation this morning, feel free to call us up 0144899981. Okay, that's where you can send your messages to. Also, we're taking messages on Twitter. Use the hashtag BusinessExpress981. Here's a message from MC Annie. He says the rice pyramid in today's Nigeria is the simplest. Wow. Okay. Simplest. I can't use that term on radio, but for this government, says honestly, I can't believe there is no wonder that the price has gone over the roof. Can you possibly imagine Abuja that doesn't even grow rice now having trailers of rice being brought into Abuja for a rice building pyramid to show off? Isn't that artificial scarcity? Okay, so let's see. Okay, tell you what we're gonna do. We'll take some more messages. Don't forget, this is Business Express, and please send your messages to 0809-444-0981. Rotus and I are having a conversation back at the background here. It's quite funny. Okay, so yes. Rotus, how do you respond to what McCanny's saying? He's saying
no, there's no artificial. There's no artificial scarcity. I mean, they're trying to increase the production of rice in Nigeria. Look, there's other issues, right? Look, Thailand, for instance, is aiming to export 7 million metric tons of rice this year. The top exporters are China, India, Thailand. I think Vietnam is also one of the top exporters of rice. In order for you to increase your production of rice, you've got to you need water, and you need well irrigated land. So there's issues with that. Too many of our farmers depend on rainfall for water and irrigation. We need more infrastructure in that regard.
Okay.
You also need, of course, more varieties of rice. As I said, Thailand, their website will show you categorically which types of rice that they produce and they export. So you need more categories. You also need to increase production.
What does it take for us to get to that stage, though? For us to, have categories of rice that we produce like that? And I mean, what are the steps to take to get there for Nigeria?
Mechanized farming is one, right? You need mechanized farming. You need more advanced farming techniques, not just the hoe and cutlass stuff. Too many of our farmers are subsistence farmers. They're only farming for themselves and for their own survival. You need more farmers, being able to produce more as far as yield per hectare for rice. So it's an infrastructure issue. There's also the flooding. In 2020 or 2019, there were some big floods that wiped out quite a number of farmland. So there's the natural disaster aspect. There's also insecurity with respect to terrorists preventing farmers from being able to get to their land. So those issues have to be worked out before one can make sufficient gains in rice production. I mean, we are the top rice producer, as far as paddy rice is the unprocessed rice, top producer in Africa. I think about 14 million metric tons a year out of Africa. We do about 55% of that, I think. Egypt is second place. So, you know, it's a matter of being able to export, being able to, so when the unprocessed paddy rice, you got to get that over to the rice mills. The rice mills also need power to be able to process the rice, right? So you also, power is an issue that's also there as well. So there's all those boxes you've got to tick. And you know, the Buhari administration, they've only got a year left in office. We'll have to look back and
they can't do all of that.
See. That's the issue.
If the next administration can take it up. Okay. Got a few messages here. This one from Ogene Uchuku says the Nigerian customs has a lot to do. Besides that, the government has to provide more incentives to reduce the price of rice. This one here says, good morning, Rotus. Gilbert Musa from Festac. I commend the CBN for this initiative towards rice production in Nigeria. But first things first, we need to address the insecurity challenge on our farmlands in Nigeria as fast as possible.
Yes, that is very true. Insecurity.
Well, I mean, okay. So outside the fact that insecurity, and then of course we have to do some type of mechanized farming. What else do you think we can also do? Because well, I think this is a great initiative by the federal government, although I think it's coming a little bit late, in my opinion. However, it is what it is. It's already started, and hopefully they can sustain what they've already started. I think it can blossom into something beautiful and better.
Indeed. Yeah, in fact, there's that plus, I want to, tomorrow, run out of time, but tomorrow I want to get into textiles. I saw something very, very interesting. There's a fashion designer. His name is Dhruv Kapoor, and he's from India. And he was in Milan, and he was unveiling his fashion line of items. It's interesting that his line of items, he creates them from excess fabric that he gets from India. And he gave an interview. He was saying that India has one of the largest, textile industries in the world. And textile makers in India, they make an extra amount of fabric to account for mistakes in their order. So if you, Kayode, and I, Rotus, order fabric from India, if they make a mistake, they have this like 200,000 extra meters of fabric that they make just in case there's a mistake with your order and my order, that they replace it. Now, when they do, sometimes there's no mistake. Sometimes they just create it and they have extra waste. It just goes to waste. So he is taking from that fabric to make his line of clothes. And it just made me think of Nigeria's textile industry, which used to be one of the top textile industries in Africa back in the 70s or 80s. And now things have just collapsed. One again is power. And so that's something I think I'll get into that with our guests for tomorrow. But it's good to look at all these industries: agriculture, rice production, textiles, clothing, industry, fashion, and see how far this administration can go in making a difference before the next administration comes in.
All right, Rotus, thank you so much. Always a pleasure having you here, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Certainly. Thank you, Kayode.
Lagos, there's more to come. Don't forget, this is Smooth Breakfast on Smooth 98.